everything when the microphone starts. All right. Good morning. Thank you all so much for coming. My name is Erin Wilcox. I am an attorney with the Pacific Legal Foundation. PLF is the nation's oldest public interest law firm dedicated to defending the individual rights of Americans against government abuse. This morning, I'm so excited to tell you that we filed on behalf of our client, the Coalition for TJ, a federal lawsuit against the Fairfax County School Board and Superintendent Scott Brabrand, challenging recent changes to the admissions policy at Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology. Thomas Jefferson High School, or TJ, is the nation's top-ranked public high school. Up until this year, admissions to TJ has been race-blind. As a result, the student body at TJ has hovered at approximately 70% Asian American students. Unfortunately, Fairfax County Schools officials apparently believed that this is too many Asian American students. And last fall, they took steps to completely overhaul the admissions system at TJ, with the express intent of significantly decreasing the number of Asian American students who gain admission to TJ. This type of racial balancing is unconstitutional. It violates the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. And by putting race above a student's individual talents and abilities, Fairfax County Public Schools is denying their students the equal protection under the law. Now, fortunately, the Coalition for TJ is not going to stand for this kind of discrimination against Asian American students, and they are here to fight for equal protection for all of their children. So here to tell you a little bit more about the Coalition and about their stories and the incredible work they're doing are some of our parents and Coalition leaders. So I'd first like to introduce you to Julia McCaskill.
My name is Julia McCaskill. I'm a mother of 3 Fairfax County Public School students. I have resided in Fairfax County since 2003. My oldest daughter is a sophomore in Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology. My second child is in 8th grade, and my youngest child is in 6th grade. Last year, the tragic death of George Floyd shocked the whole nation. But what happened after that was beyond everyone's imagination. The hate against the police was stirred up and used to destroy innocent people's business and burn down public property. In June, an email from TJ Principal Ann Bonatadovus to the TJ families was quite disturbing. A lot of families sensed something big was going to happen, and it sure did. Last September, during a school board work session, Superintendent Scott Brabrand pushed forward a new TJ admission proposal by using a merit lottery. Dr. Brabrand claimed the new admission process would increase the number of historically underrepresented minority students. However, data analysis shows the actual result would be that the number of Asian American students will be cut in nearly half without significant improvement for the underrepresented minority students. At one time, when Dr. Brabrand was asked why he was pushing the new admission process, he gave a very simple answer: George Floyd. At that moment, all the puzzle pieces fit. During the past 6 months, there have been a lot of hateful comments from different school board members. TJ was painted as a school for privileged families, despite the fact that the majority of TJ families are immigrants who came to the U.S. with very little in their hands and pockets. But the one thing in common for them was that they all worked hard. Some school members said the atmosphere in TJ was toxic, despite the fact that most students were having a great time in TJ, especially with their peers. TJ PTSA did a survey on the merit lottery proposal inside the TJ community, and the approval rate was 1.49 out of 5. Virginia State Secretary of Education Atif Kwani at one point compared hard-working students to drug-doping athletes before competitions. but he ignored the fact that all the hard training made Kobe Bryant and Michael Phelps. A lot of families in TJ are immigrants, and I am one of them. I believe all of us came to the U.S. because it is a free land full of opportunities. One father said he came to the U.S. 30 years ago with $50 in his pocket, and now he is an entrepreneur. He never dreamed one day he woke up and he became the privileged. All the immigrant families in TJ are grateful to what TJ has offered them. After many TJ alumni graduated from colleges, they came back to Nova and created jobs for this area as the payback for what TJ had offered them and made them. Many current TJ students are helping the local students by tutoring them for free. From all those things, I only saw passion of love with no trace of hatred. Diversity is the goal for all of us, and TJ does not belong to a certain race or a certain group of people. Everyone is offered equal opportunities. The low admission rate for Black and Hispanic students is the failure of the FCPS school board. They failed those underrepresented areas over the decades. Instead of fixing the pipeline issue, the authorities are stirring up hate against Asian Americans, hoping to simply suppress the number of Asian American students will fix the overdue problem of the school board's failure. This is not the correct way to fix this failure. Harry Jackson, a father of one of the 6 Black students of TJ freshmen, as well as the leading member of Coalition for TJ. He is also part of BSF, also known as Black Student Fund. Harry is working actively in promoting STEM education for all communities, especially for Black students. Kappa Nova, Chinese American Parent Association, is also working actively with all other communities to enhance education for all. Among these communities, there is no American history, Asian American, Black American, or Hispanic American. There is only American. Despite different races and different skin colors, everyone is working hard together to build a strong grassroots STEM education for our children so that they will be prepared for TJ in the future. Let us all stop the hate for a moment and think about what we can do for our future generation. What they really need is good education and a reasonable sense of judgment. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Hanning Chen, one of the parents who are filing the federal lawsuit against FCPS for its systematic discrimination against Asian American students. I have 3 kids attending FCPS. The eldest one is a TJ sophomore who went through the race-blind admission process 2 years ago to earn the opportunity to challenge herself on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics courses. Today, I stand here alongside all those courageous parents to fight against FCPS so that all kids of Fairfax County will enjoy the equal opportunity to enter TJ. In a speech dated back to 1963, President John Kennedy said, "All of us do not have equal talent, but all of us should have an equal opportunity to develop those talents." The establishment of TJ in 1985 as a Virginia government school enabled the equal opportunity to develop talents in STEM, eventually making TJ the nation's #1 high school. As a TJ parent, I can tell you the cornerstone of TJ's tremendous success over the past decades was its impartial admission process that only judged every applicant's academic credential without considering their race, gender, skin color, or zip code. Isn't that the core value of American dream that has attracted so many immigrant families to this land of the free? As a parent of 3 daughters, I don't want them to be judged only as Asian Americans. I want them to be judged as Americans like everyone else. Fellow Americans, please do not allow FCPS to divide us, and please do not allow them to divide our kids. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Henning. Thank you, Julia. My name is Asher Namani, and I'm a parent of a senior at Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology. I came to the United States at the age of 4 from India. We came here for the American dream. And what we have seen over the past 9 months is a school system that is intent on destroying the American dream. So I'm so proud to have been working for the last 9 months with families that are just ordinary families in America. Families that came to this country from communist China, from the Cultural Revolution, from India, from communist Eastern Europe. There's so many oppressions and so much injustice that they have faced in the world. They could never have imagined that they would face such injustice in America. It's something that I have also found inconceivable. But what we have here are parents who are standing up for the one thing that we all care about the most, and that's the future of our children, all children. Right now, America faces a growing tide of racism against Asian Americans. We've been feeling that racism for the last 9 months as we listen to school board meetings that marginalize us, that isolate us, that ignore us, school board members that put the mute button on us because they don't want to hear our voices. But these are parents who refuse to stay silent. They are the parents who believe in America, and I hope the entire world and this entire country will stand with them, because the Coalition for TJ represents every community everywhere. We are standing right now in Alexandria, Virginia, but we represent the challenge that America is facing to have a country where we will, in fact, judge children by the content of their character, not by the color of their skin. We want opportunities for all children, and we hope everybody and the courts will stand with us as we pursue this fight for justice. Thank you all so much for coming today, and thank you for supporting us wherever you are in the world. We appreciate all the support that we get. Thank you. We'll be happy to take any questions.
I do have two questions. I'll start with one. In the lawsuit, how much of your case is built on the actual policy that they put in place versus what they said in their rationale for what they said about why they're doing it?
So the case is, they're intertwined. What the school board said, the discriminatory intent that they've shown us very clearly in this case, is an intertwined and inseparable part of the policy that they've put in place. So both are integral to the lawsuit that we filed this morning against the Fairfax County School Board and Superintendent Brabrand.
I'll ask my second then if I get to. Oh, how much is the outcome of this case dependent on what may or may not happen with the Supreme Court and the Harvard?
That's a great question. So in constitutional law, K through 12 schools are treated differently than higher education institutions, but I think there will be a definite impact and a definite informing by if the court grants cert to the Harvard case. That could definitely impact judges on this case. So we'll be watching it very closely. Anything else for me or one of our parents? All right. Thank you all again so much for coming. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I heard the yeah.